I love the combination of chicken, mozzarella, pesto, some tomatoes and Parma ham. It just reminds me of Italy, so it does. And it's a really, really simple recipe. The key is really, really good ingredients, as always. We're going to serve it with some nice spaghetti and some sprouting broccoli. So it's a very, very simple, quick and delicious dish. So first of all, I'll show you, we're going to make our our stuffing. This is some of the mozzarella. So this is the Simply Better mozzarella that I'm using. Okay, so it's made with buffalo milk, the PGI logo, and of course it's produced in Italy. And then I'm going to mix this with some of the fresh pesto. I'll just show you up there close. It's beautiful. We use this a lot at home, and even on some sourdough bread. It's delicious, so it is, with some serrano ham or a little bit of Parma ham. It is really, really gorgeous, and a little bit of balsamic. It's a real treat. So I'm just chopping this, and this is going to go into the bowl. And then we're going to put in some cherry tomatoes. You can do this with some sun-dried tomatoes, so you can mix it up. Okay, so then what I've done with the cherry tomatoes, I've just literally cut them in half. So it depends on the size. If they're too big, you can cut them a wee bit smaller. So I'll just put in a couple of them. You know, you want maybe about 2 or 3 in each chicken breast if you can. So that's that there. Spoonful of the basil pesto, maybe another one, because I love it so much. And then we just literally mix this all together. So a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper, and then we're ready then to put this into the chicken breast. So just, you can have this ready to go. This actually is lovely even on some toasted bread in the oven or under the grill, or a nice little topping if you're doing a little pizza. So your mozzarella, your pesto, and your little cherry tomatoes. Okay, I'm using the corn-fed chicken breast for this, so it's skinless. And I'm going to show you to make a little bit of a pocket in it. So the secret into this is having your Parma ham ready. So we're using prosciutto di Parma ham. So this is really important, the crown. So I got to meet this producer. So every leg of Parma ham, prosciutto di Parma, is stamped with this and the PGI logo. One thing the Italians are wonderful at doing is the PGI, which means Protected Geographical Indication. So this is the Parma ham. I'm going to get 2 of the slices, and we're just going to kind of overlap them, so we are like that. Okay, then we're going to get the chicken breast. So I'm left-handed, so I'm going to kind of make a little incision in here without cutting through the chicken. So I'm using a small knife for this. It just makes it a little bit easier. So if you see that little pocket there, and then what you do is you get your mozzarella and your lovely tomatoes. Let's try and squeeze in another tomato. I could have maybe cut them into quarters, and then a little bit of pesto and the mozzarella. And then kind of push that in, and then you're going to wrap it in the prosciutto di Parma. And then don't worry if the tomato kind of pops out. You can go with another layer of prosciutto di Parma if you want to. I'm just going to do 2. That's what I've already done in the oven. You could do this with some nice streaky smoked whiskey dry cured bacon. You've seen me using that in lots of the recipes. Okay, so we're just going to literally open this out. And it is a little bit fiddly, so don't be worrying about it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it is delicious. Okay, when you're putting this back into the fridge, keep it covered in cling film. And if you're serving this as an antipasta, take it out of the fridge and have it at room temperature. That's really, really important. So again, we're going to do one more. Again, using the knife, just kind of open it out. If you can see that just there, just the technique. And just making a little pocket there. Then getting your spoon. So that's your mozzarella and your lovely cherry tomatoes if you can, and then the pesto. So it's a great combination. It really is so tasty. These can be made ahead. Say you were having them, maybe you were doing a dinner party, or you wanted to have them, you know, made during the day, and you can cook them in the evening, whatever you want. Okay, right, so let's put that in there. So I'm going to wash my hands now. I'm going to bring this over, and what we're going to do then is we're just going to literally pop this onto the pan. So have your pan nice and hot. That's really, really important. So just give your hands a little wash. And we're going to cook this in a little bit of rapeseed oil and some butter. So good drizzle of the rapeseed oil. So have that nice and hot. We've already seasoned the mozzarella and all that. And then just bring your board over. Okay. And then what we're going to do is just literally seal this in here. Now, a little bit of butter. We want the prosciutto di Parma to be nice and crispy and golden brown. But what I want to do is make sure we season the chicken. So just turn down the heat. You don't need to have it too hot too quickly. Okay, this saucepan, we're going to cook some pasta in this saucepan, and in this saucepan we're going to do some sprout and broccoli. So we're using fresh pasta, so that cooks really, really quickly. So for the sprout and broccoli, it works really well with this. You can use peas, you can use some roasted peppers. I'm going to pop that in there. Then into this, we're using this fresh egg spaghetti. I love this pasta. We have this a lot at home. Even if I'm cooking monkfish or even a simple breast of chicken, it is so delicious. The twins love it, and it cooks really, really quickly. Okay, so it's made with free range eggs. Nice big handful. See how generous. One packet would feed the four of us, and that's myself, Imelda, Connor and Lucia. I did put salt into that, so what I'm going to do is just give this a little stir through, and it cooks so fast. That's the beautiful thing about the fresh pasta. Now let's come back to our chicken. So don't be tempted to turn it too quickly. I did turn down the heat underneath the pan. A little bit of rapeseed oil and then the butter. So you're going to get the flavour from the butter. You're going to get a lovely crispy Parma ham. And what I like to do, even though all my pans can go into the oven, I like to transfer it into a dish like this. So I'll show you that in a moment. The oven, 200 degrees, so it's a good hot oven. And just very carefully, this is perfect now. We just go in there and just have a little look at that nice crispy Parma ham. That's beautiful. So that's what I'm looking for, is that you're sealing in that all that lovely flavour from the crispy Parma ham. It's so delicious, it really is. With the mozzarella, the cherry tomatoes, and again you can use some sun-dried tomatoes if you want to. This also is lovely with some potatoes. You don't have to serve pasta, but we're trying to keep it as Italian as possible. Okay, so this is what we call blanching off. If you want to pre-cook your sprout and broccoli, you cook this for about 2 minutes, then put it into iced water, or maybe a minute, iced water, and then what you do is refresh it. So that stops the cooking process. Whereas I'm going to serve this up now. I'm just going to literally turn this off. I will add butter into it. I want to show you the chicken. We're going to flip it over again. Don't worry if the little tomatoes come out. I did tell you they were a little bit big. Now, and then all this lovely juices, look at, we don't want to waste that. There's so much flavour there, so don't waste that. You could, if you wanted to, throw your broccoli onto the pan, so you're getting all that lovely flavour. So you can have these sealed off, and what you could do is just have these ready. I have already some in the oven, and they'll take about maybe 20 minutes, depending on the thickness of the chicken breast. You want to make sure that it's cooked through. So I'm going to turn off the just the pasta. We're going to take the one out of the oven. So 200 degrees. And you'll see the way, if we look in nice and closely, I'll just get my little trivet here, all those lovely juices kind of come out, so they do, and that's from the mozzarella. So it is, I want the Parma ham nice and crispy, so I do. So that's really important. Don't cover it, by the way, in the oven. They took about 22 minutes, so they did. So I'll strain the broccoli first, and then we'll strain the pasta. And usually just with broccoli, I like to keep it nice and simple. I already have salt in there, so a little bit of butter. And then with our pasta, you cook it until it's al dente, which means that it's just slightly firm to the bite, that it's not gone soft or mushy, or that it's undercooked. That's really important. So just strain this, and then it goes back into the pot. No need to put cold water over it, and then some lovely butter. I think buttered pasta. Twins love this, so they do. So we just mix this all through. I'm going to use the carving fork for this, just to mix it through, and we're going to just serve this up. So you're just combining the butter. You could, I have the pesto, you could put some pesto into that. Sure, we have it there, why not? It's going to give lovely flavour. And this must be kept in the fridge. It's a fresh basil pesto, so we'll put in a couple of spoonfuls in there. We adore this. We just think it's just such a beautiful product. And that's what we have, a lovely kind of buttered pasta. You can see the little speckles from the pesto there. And it's just cooked, so it is. So I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to get my plate, which is over here. And then we just serve this up. Now you can slice the chicken if you want to. We'll use those lovely kind of juices just to serve on the side. And then just with the carving fork, we're just going to create a nice little mound of the fresh pasta. So just a little bit of salt in the water, finished with some butter, and then also the lovely fresh pesto. Now we'll get our chicken to this one here. Looks really nice. I just love the way when you cut into this and you can see that lovely kind of stringiness from that beautiful mozzarella. And then our broccoli. So we'll just arrange the broccoli. Just a little bit of butter. Keep it really, really simple. You can serve this with little baby potatoes, a little bit of rice, whatever you want to. But I think the chicken done like this with that really, really nice mozzarella and pesto is just a great combination. Just with a spoon, all those lovely juices, we're just going to literally kind of spoon. I want to kind of keep the Parma ham, if you can see, nice and kind of crispy, so I don't want to kind of spoon it, and you could actually spoon some of that over your lovely pasta. So that's a really simple, quick recipe. I've wrapped the chicken in Parma ham, but you could use some nice of the whiskey kind of dry cured smoky bacon. Stuffed it with mozzarella, cherry tomatoes. You could put fresh basil into it, you could put some peppers into it, but for me it's really good quality chicken, really beautiful Italian products, and some lovely fresh pasta and some broccoli. So enjoy this very simple Parma wrapped chicken breast stuffed with mozzarella, tomatoes, a little bit of pesto and the fresh pasta. Thank you.